I spent 4 months organizing my son Frank's birthday party, 4 months selecting every detail, spending my savings, canceling my own plans. On the night of the celebration, I waited 5 hours in my house, dressed with the table set, surrounded by decorations no one would ever see. They never arrived, none of them. The next day, I discovered the truth. While I waited alone, my son, my daughter-in-law Laura, my daughter Emily, and the entire family were in Turks and Caicos, celebrating without me. When Frank finally sent me a voice message, he was laughing. "Oh, Mom, don't be mad. We just wanted to keep you busy so you wouldn't feel lonely. It was for your own good." I didn't respond. I didn't argue. I just waited. 1 week later, they called 47 times in an hour. I only answered with one text. "I'm really busy right now." They had no idea what I had just done, but to understand how I reached that moment, I need to go back to the beginning. I need to tell you who I was before that night, before the betrayal, before the freedom. My name is Janet, and I'm 66 years old. I've been a widow for 8 years, a mother of 2, and a grandmother of 3. For 35 years, I worked as an elementary school teacher in a public school district. If you're watching this video, please like the subscribe to the channel and tell me in the comments where you're watching my story of revenge from. I want to know how far it has reached. I retired at 60 with a modest but respectable pension. I thought retirement would be my time, my moment to rest, to travel, to do all those things I postponed for decades while raising my children alone after my husband died of a sudden heart attack. Now, how naive I was. My routine since retirement hasn't changed much, it only changed shape. Before, I taught children in a classroom. Now, I watch my 3 grandchildren almost every day. I pick them up from school, prepare their snacks, help them with homework, take them to the park, bathe them, and put them to bed. Laura, my daughter-in-law, always has something important to do, a meeting, a course, a night out with friends. And I'm always available. I always say yes. On Mondays and Wednesdays, I take care of my daughter Emily's condo while she works. I clean, water the plants, and receive packages. Sometimes I stay until 8 p.m. waiting for her to arrive because she forgot her keys again. Emily is an executive at a marketing firm. She earns well. She lives in an apartment 3 times bigger than mine. But she never has time for anything. I'm the one who has time. I'm the one who always can. On weekends, I organize family lunches. I cook for 12 people. I buy everything, prepare everything, and clean everything. They arrive, eat, criticize if the meat is overcooked or if the rice is too dry, and they leave. I stay cleaning dishes until 11 p.m., putting away leftovers they never come back to pick up. I live alone in a 2-bedroom apartment in a quiet suburban neighborhood. The walls are covered with family photos. My grandchildren smiling, Frank and Emily at their graduations. My husband frozen in time, forever 48. Sometimes I look at those photos and wonder when the last time someone took a picture of me was. When was the last time someone truly asked me how I was, genuinely expecting a real answer? 6 months ago, I tried to sign up for a painting class. I always loved to draw since I was a child. I never had time to develop it. I found a lovely studio with a teacher who exhibited in galleries, a small group of women my age. I was so excited that I paid the enrollment fee up front, $350 for 3 months. Classes were on Saturday afternoons. I went to 2 classes, only 2. Afterward, Emily asked me to watch the grandchildren on Saturdays because she had gotten a new project and needed to work weekends. I explained about the course. She looked at me as if I were speaking another language. "Mom, it's just for a few weeks. You'll go back after. The course isn't going anywhere." The course didn't go anywhere, but my spot did, and my money did too. There was no refund. I have one friend, one true friend. Her name is Maria. We met 40 years ago when our children went to the same kindergarten. I truly wonder if you were in my place, what would you do? Would you choose to be quiet to maintain peace, or would you dare to face everything to reclaim your voice? I want to know your opinion because every story is like a candle that can light the way for someone else. Maria is a widow too, but she's different. When her husband died, she sold everything and bought a small condo near the beach. She travels twice a year, takes yoga classes, and goes dancing with a group of friends on Fridays. She always invites me. I can never go. I always have something. Someone always needs me. And Janet, Maria tells me every time we meet, your kids are adults now. They have their own lives. When are you going to live yours? I laugh, tell her she exaggerates, that it's normal for a mother to help, that that's what we're for, that they need me. Maria looks at me with that mix of pity and frustration that I know so well. They don't need you, Janet. They use you. There's a difference. I change the subject. I always change the subject. The truth I don't want to admit is that I'm afraid. Afraid to say no and have them stop calling me. Afraid to set boundaries and truly be left alone. After my husband died, my children became my reason for existing, and now my grandchildren. If I'm not the available grandma, the helpful mother, the one who always fixes everything, then what am I? Who am I? Then came February. Frank was turning 38 in June. One Tuesday afternoon, while I was watching his children, he came home early. He sat across from me at the kitchen table with that smile he's had since he was a kid when he wants something. Mom, I need to ask you a huge favor. Frank has that expression I've known since he was a child. Bright eyes, charming smile, soft voice. It's the same face he used to make when he wanted me to buy him something expensive or when he needed me to get him out of some trouble at school. It always worked. It always works. Tell me, son, what do you need? I dry my hands on my apron. I had just prepared the children's snack, sandwiches, fresh juice, and fruit cut into fun shapes. Things Laura never has time to do. This year, I want to do something special for my birthday, something memorable. I'm turning 38, and I feel like I need to celebrate big. He leans back in the chair, relaxed, as if he were in his own home. Technically, he is, I suppose. I spend more time here than in my apartment. That's nice, son. What are you thinking? I ask, while putting away the clean dishes. That's where you come in, Mom. He leans forward. I want an incredible party, but Laura is busy with work, and you know how Emily is, always occupied. I thought maybe you could help me organize it. Well, not help me, organize it completely. He laughs as if it were a joke, but we both know he's serious. I feel that familiar knot in my stomach, that mix of pride because he needs me, and weariness because it's exactly what's coming. A complete party, Frank? That's a lot of work, and it's expensive, too. I know, Mom, I know, but no one does it like you. Tell me whether you have parents, grandparents, or older family members who deserve more respect than they currently receive from their families. Alternatively, tell me if you yourself are going through a situation in which you're not appreciated as much as you truly deserve. I remember the parties you used to throw when we were kids. Everything always perfect, and don't worry about the money. Obviously, I'll pay. He waves his hand dismissively. I just need you to take care of the details, okay? To coordinate everything, to make sure it's special. I should say no. I should explain that I have my own plans, my own things. But when I look at him, I see the child I raised alone after his father died. I see all the times he needed me, and I was there. When would it be? In June, the 15th of June. That gives you 4 months to prepare everything. Relax, no pressure. 4 months, he says, no pressure, as if 4 months were an eternity. And Mom, I want to invite about 50 people, something elegant but fun, with good food, good music, and great decorations. You understand. 50 people. Elegant, good food. Every word is a dollar sign multiplying in my head. Frank, that's going to cost a lot of money. Are you sure you can afford it? Of course, Mom. I'll give you the money as we go. Don't worry about it. He gets up, kisses me on the forehead. I knew I could count on you. You're the best mom in the world. And he leaves for his room, leaving me alone in the kitchen with a vague promise and a concrete responsibility. That night in my apartment, I can't sleep. I think about everything organizing a party for 50 people entails. The venue, the food, the decorations, the invitations, the music, the cake. I think about my painting class that I never went back to. I think about the trip to Maui that Maria suggested we take together in May. I think about telling Frank that I can't, but I don't. The next day, I start making lists. The first week, I research party halls. I call 12 different venues. The prices range from $4,000 just for the space rental. I send the options to Frank via WhatsApp. He takes 3 days to reply. I don't know, Mom. Isn't there something nicer? Look for more options. I look for more options. The second week, Laura gets involved. She sends me a text at 7 a.m. Janet, Frank told me you're organizing the party. It's great you can help. I'm sending you a list of things I need you to consider. The list arrives 5 minutes later. It's a 3-page Word document. I read each point with growing disbelief. The flowers have to be imported, no local flowers. The invitations must be printed on special paper with gold embossing. The food has to include vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, and lactose-free options, and a special menu for children that includes nothing processed. The decoration has to follow a specific color palette, earth tones with gold accents, no silver, no bright colors. Everything has to be elegant and sophisticated, yet relaxed and welcoming. I show the list to Maria when she comes to visit that afternoon. She reads it silently, shaking her head. When she finishes, she looks at me over her glasses. Janet, tell me this is a joke. It's what they want for the party. And who's going to pay for all of this? Because the import flowers alone must cost around $1,000. Maria puts the paper down on the table with more force than necessary. Frank said he was going to provide the money. My voice sounds unconvincing even to me. And has he given you anything yet? Maria knows me too well. She knows the answer before I speak. Not yet, but he told me he would give it to me little by little. I get up to pour coffee, avoiding her gaze. Janet, listen to me. This is not your responsibility. Frank is an adult man with a job. If he wants an expensive party, he should pay for it and organize it himself or hire someone. You are not his employee. You are not his secretary. You are his mother, and you have done enough. He's my son, Maria. If I can help him, why shouldn't I? I pour the coffee slowly, concentrating on not spilling. There's a difference between helping and sacrificing yourself, between giving a hand and giving yourself completely. Maria sighs. But I know you won't listen to me. You never do when it comes to your children. Just promise me one thing. If Frank doesn't give you the money, don't take it from your savings. Promise me. I promise you. It's a lie. We both know it. The third week, I find the perfect venue. An event hall with a garden, capacity for 60 people, and neutral decor that I can adapt. It costs $2,000 for 6 hours. I ask Frank to advance me at least half to make the reservation. Mom, give me a few days. We're a little tight this month, but don't worry, I'll give it to you. 2 weeks pass. Frank doesn't mention the money. The venue calls me saying that if I don't leave an $800 deposit in 3 days, I'll lose the reservation. I go to the bank, take $800 from my savings account, the account where I kept money for emergencies, the account I had thought of using for that trip with Maria. I make the deposit to the venue. I sit in my car in the bank parking lot for 20 minutes, looking at the receipt, wondering what I just did. With the venue reserved, the demands multiply. Laura sends me messages every day, sometimes at 6 a.m., sometimes at 11 p.m., always with the same tone, as if she were my boss giving me work instructions. Janet, have you contacted the florist I recommended yet? Remember, the flowers have to arrive early the same day so they're fresh, and confirm they are exactly the ones I asked for. No substitutions. I call the florist she recommended. It's an exclusive boutique in the most expensive neighborhood in the city. The woman who answers speaks with a refined accent that makes me feel small. I explain what I need. She gives me the price, $950. Just for the flowers. I feel the air escape my lungs. Don't you have anything more economical, local flowers that look just as good? The woman laughs politely. Ma'am, the flowers your daughter-in-law is requesting are imported from Ecuador. There are no local substitutes that look the same. If you want something cheaper, I can offer you other options, but they won't be what she asked for. I text Frank explaining the cost. He replies 6 hours later. Ugh, that's expensive. But, well, if that's what Laura wants, go ahead. Mom, I'll pay you back. He doesn't mention when, he doesn't mention how, just I'll pay you back. As if it were $20 and not almost a $1,000. I take another $1,000 from my savings. I place the flower order. When I leave the florist, my hands are shaking. I have now spent $800. Frank hasn't given me a single cent. That night, Emily calls me. Mom, is it true you're organizing a super party for Frank? Her voice sounds somewhere between curious and annoyed. Why do you do those things for him and you never did anything like that for my birthdays? Emily, you never asked me to organize anything like that for you. I'm tired. It's 10 p.m. and I've spent all day calling vendors. I know it's a lot to ask, Mom. That's why I hired a service when I had my 30th birthday party. But of course, Frank was always your favorite. He asks and you give. There is real old accumulated resentment in her voice. It's not like that, Emily. I don't have favorites. Frank asked for help and I accepted. If you need something, you know I'm here for you too. Sure, Mom, as always. And she hangs up. I'm left staring at the phone, feeling that familiar weight of never being enough, of never doing things right, of always disappointing someone. The fourth week, I start on the invitations. Laura wants invitations printed on cotton paper with gold embossed lettering. She sends me the exact design she saw on Pinterest. I look for printers. The cheapest one that does that type of work charges $500 for 50 invitations, $500 for pieces of paper that people will throw away after reading. I ask Frank if we really need such expensive invitations. Can't we do something digital? It's more ecological and more practical. He replies with an audio message. I can hear background noise as if he's in a shopping mall. Oh, Mom, don't be old-fashioned. Digital invitations are for informal parties. This is supposed to be elegant. Do what Laura asked, please. I don't want trouble with her. He doesn't want trouble with her, but he doesn't mind having trouble with me. I take out another $500. I'm now up to $2,300. My savings account is draining. The account that took me years to fill, saving $100 a month from my pension. When the bank teller hands me the money, he asks if everything is all right. You've been making a lot of withdrawals lately, Mrs. Janet. Are you sure you're not being scammed? I feel like laughing, crying, telling him the truth, but I just smile and tell him I'm organizing a family party. I take the invitations to be printed. They'll take 2 weeks. Meanwhile, Laura sends me the guest list with addresses. Count the invitations, I need 65, not 50. I forgot to include some of Frank's cousins and a few friends from work who can't miss it. I call the printer. 10 extra invitations cost $100 more. I'm not even surprised anymore. I just say yes. The 5th week, I dedicate myself to the catering. Laura wants a specific menu: shrimp appetizer with mango sauce, main course with 3 protein options, gourmet sides, a table of artisanal desserts, and a 3-tiered hand-decorated cake. Everything has to be prepared by a professional chef. No home-cooked food, no budget buffets. I get quotes from 5 catering companies. The cheapest charges $200. The most expensive, $6,000. I send the options to Frank and Laura. Laura replies first. None of these companies convince me. Look for the one my cousin Adriana recommended. She hired them for her wedding, and the food was divine. She doesn't give me the name. She doesn't give me the contact, just the one my cousin Adriana hired, as if I should guess it. I ask Laura for the contact. She sends it 2 days later. I call the company. I'm answered by a professional woman who asks me 1,000 questions about the event. Finally, she gives me the price, $5,400. I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack for 50 people. The woman patiently explains that it's gourmet food, premium ingredients, a professional chef, full service, and tableware included, as if that justifies it costing more than 3 months of my pension. I call Frank. For the first time, I dial his number instead of texting him. He needs to hear my voice. He needs to understand that this is getting out of control. He answers after 5 rings. Mom, I'm in a meeting. What's up? I hear voices in the background, laughter. It doesn't sound like a work meeting. Frank, I need to talk to you about the catering. The one Laura wants costs $400. That's too much, son. We have to find something cheaper. Mom, I already told you I'll pay for it. Don't worry. He sounds impatient, distracted. But you haven't given me anything so far, Frank. I've already spent nearly $4,000 of my savings. My voice breaks a little. I don't want to sound desperate, but I am. Mom, this month was complicated. We had unexpected expenses, but I promise you, before the party, I'll pay you back everything. With interest if you want. He laughs. He laughs while I feel like I'm drowning in debts that aren't mine. I have to hang up now. We'll talk later. Yes, you're the best. I love you. And he hangs up. I'm left sitting on my couch with the phone in my hand, staring at the wall. On the wall is a photo of Frank at age 5. He's hugging me, smiling with that gap-toothed grin. I remember that day. We had gone to the park. He had found a butterfly and was fascinated. He told me, Mom, When I grow up, I'm going to take care of you just like you take care of me. He was 5. He was sincere. At what point did that child turn into this man who uses me without even realizing it? I hire the catering Laura wants. $5,400 comes directly from my savings account. The bank manager looks at me with concern when I make the transfer. Mrs. Janet, your account is getting very low. Are you sure about this transaction? I tell him yes, I'm sure. Although inside I feel like I'm making the biggest mistake of my life. I leave the bank with a receipt in my hand and a hollow feeling in my stomach. I have spent $8,600 on a party that isn't even mine. That afternoon, Maria comes to visit without calling ahead. She rings the doorbell insistently until I open it. She finds me in my pajamas at 3 p.m., surrounded by decoration catalogs, endless lists, a calculator in hand. She looks at me and doesn't say anything. She just hugs me. And there, in the arms of my only true friend, I finally cry. I cry about the money. I cry about the exhaustion. I cry about feeling used and not being able to say no. Enough, Janet. You have to stop this. Maria leads me to the couch, makes me sit down, and brings me water. How much have you spent? Almost $9,000. My voice sounds small, ashamed. Maria closes her eyes, takes a deep breath. When she opens them, I see contained fury. And Frank, how much has he given you? Nothing yet, but he promised he'll pay me back everything. Janet, for goodness sake, wake up. You're never going to see that money again. You know that, don't you? Deep down, you know it. She's right, I know it, but admitting it out loud is too painful. He's my son, Maria. I can't let him look bad in front of all his family and friends. And you? You can be left without savings, without security. What if you have a medical emergency? What if you need that money for something important? Maria is practically shouting. I've never seen her so angry. Your children are adults. They have jobs. They have money. If Frank wants a $9,000 party, he should pay for it, not you. I've already hired everything. I can't back out now. It's my last defense, and it sounds pathetic even to me. Maria takes my hands, looks me straight in the eyes. Janet, listen to me. You still have time to cancel. Yes, you'll lose the deposits, but it's better to lose $2,000 than $9,000. Call Frank right now and tell him that either he takes control of this or you cancel everything. I want to do it. I want to pick up the phone and tell Frank that I can't do it anymore. But I imagine his disappointment. I imagine Laura saying, I knew your mom couldn't handle something like this. I imagine Emily confirming that I was always a better mother to Frank than to her. I imagine the judgment of the entire family, and I just can't. I'll finish it. It's only 2 more months. I squeeze Maria's hands. After the party, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to set boundaries, I promise you. Maria releases my hands, gets up, and walks toward the door. Before leaving, she turns back. Don't promise me, Janet. Promise yourself, because you are the one paying the price for not knowing how to say no. And she leaves, leaving me alone with my catalogs and my guilt. The following weeks are a whirlwind of tasks. I need to hire a DJ. Laura wants live music during dinner and a DJ afterward. I find a musician who plays guitar and sings. He charges $400 for 2 hours. The DJ charges $300 plus sound equipment, an additional $900. I don't even ask Frank anymore. I just hire him and pay. The decoration is another hell. Laura wants centerpieces with floating candles, linen table runners, chairs dressed in cream-colored covers, hanging string lights, and a personalized photo booth with Frank's name. I find a decorator who does complete packages. Down $200, I pay. The grandchildren visit one afternoon while I'm watching Frank's children. The oldest, Matthew, age 8, asks me, Grandma, is it true you're throwing a giant party for Dad? I say yes. And why are you doing it? And not Dad? The question is innocent, but it pierces me like a knife. Because grandmas help when they can, my love. Matthew looks at me thoughtfully. My friend Tommy says his grandma doesn't throw parties. He says his grandma travels and does fun things. You don't travel, Grandma. I don't know what to say. I think about the trip to Maui that I canceled. I think about all the places I wanted to see and never did. I think about my life put on permanent pause while I wait for my children to stop needing me. Sometimes I travel, Matthew. Someday. It's a lie, we both know it. In mid-May, 1 month before the party, the demands reach absurd levels. Laura decides that the cake I had ordered isn't special enough. She wants a themed cake with hand-sculpted fondant figures representing Frank's hobbies. Canceling the original cake costs me a $100 penalty. The new cake costs $650. Total invested, $200. I wake up every morning with a knot in my chest. I check my bank account and see numbers that make me nauseous. I have less than $100 left in savings. $500 out of the nearly $20,000 I had 4 months ago. $500 that I saved for 8 years, vanished in a party for a son who barely calls me unless he needs something. 2 weeks before the party, Emily asks me to watch the grandchildren all weekend because she has a work retreat. I tell her I can't, that I'm busy organizing the final details of Frank's party. She gets upset. You always have time for Frank, never for me. She hangs up without saying goodbye. I call Laura to ask if she can watch her own children that weekend. She laughs. Janet, I have a spa booked with my friends for months. It's my self-care time. I can't cancel. Self-care. She talks about self-care while I haven't had a day off in 4 months. I end up watching the grandchildren all weekend. While they play, I confirm vendors on the phone. While they sleep, I review lists. While they eat breakfast, I reply to Laura's texts with more last-minute changes. On Sunday night, when Emily comes to pick them up, she looks tanned and relaxed. Thanks, Mom. I needed this break. You have no idea how much. She doesn't ask how I am. She doesn't notice the dark circles under my eyes. She doesn't see the exhaustion. She just takes her children and leaves. 1 week before the party, Frank finally mentions the money. He comes to my house without warning, which is unusual. He sits at my kitchen table looking uncomfortable. Mom, about the party money. My heart leaps with hope. Maybe he's finally going to give me something. Maybe he acknowledges everything I spent. The thing is, this month we had to pay some overdue credit card bills, and Laura needed to get her teeth fixed. It was like $4,000. So, I won't be able to give you the money before the party like I thought. I'm speechless. $4,000 on Laura's teeth while I emptied my savings account for his party. But don't worry, he continues, oblivious to my shock. After the party, I'll start paying you back little by little. In installments, how about that? Like $500 a month. That way, I'll pay you back everything in a year, and it won't be a financial strain for me. A year? He wants to pay me back in a year if he even pays. Frank, I spent all my savings on this party. I have nothing left. My voice trembles. I need him to understand the gravity of what I'm saying. I need him to see what he's doing to me. Frank scratches the back of his neck, uncomfortable. Mom, don't exaggerate. You couldn't have spent everything. You must have something left. His tone is almost accusatory, as if I were irresponsible with my money, as if I hadn't spent every cent on him. Frank, on your party, I have less than £1.50 left in the bank. I take out my phone, open the banking app, and show him. I need him to see the numbers to make them real for him. He looks at the screen briefly and turns away. Well, but you still have your pension every month, right? It's not like you're going to starve. He laughs nervously. He actually laughs. Besides, Mom, think of it as an investment. This party is going to be incredible. Everyone is going to remember it. And it's all thanks to you. You should be proud. Proud? I should feel proud of being left with no savings to inflate my son's ego. Frank, that money was for emergencies. What if I get sick? What if I need something urgent? Oh, Mom, always so dramatic. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're strong as an ox. He gets up, gives me a quick kiss on the cheek. I have to go. Laura's waiting for me. See you at the party, okay? And Mom, seriously, thanks for everything. You're the best. And he leaves, leaving me alone in my kitchen with my phone in my hand and a hollow feeling in my chest that no amount of superficial gratitude can fill. That night, I don't sleep. I stay awake staring at the ceiling, doing mental math. My pension is $300 a month. I pay $500 for rent, $200 for utilities, and $300 for food and basic expenses. That leaves me with $300 for everything else. Medication, clothes, unforeseen costs, life. And now, without savings, without a safety net. At 66, I'm financially vulnerable for the first time since I became a widow. I get up at 4 a.m. There's no point in staying in bed. I make coffee and sit down in front of the computer. I check my email. Among the spam and advertisements, there's a message from 3 months ago that I never opened. It's from an old teaching colleague, Carol, who now works in a cultural exchange program. The subject line reads, "Incredible opportunity for you, Janet." I open the email with curiosity. Carol writes to me about an exchange program for retired teachers. 6 months in Barcelona, Spain, working as assistants in Spanish programs for foreigners, lodging included, a monthly stipend of $900 and covered medical insurance. I thought of you immediately, Janet, Carol writes. You always talked about traveling. This is your chance. Applications close in 1 week. I read the email 3 times. Barcelona 6 months, lodging included, a different life, even if only temporarily. I check the email date, February 15th. Today is June 8th. Applications closed months ago. I lost the opportunity. Of course, I lost it. I was too busy organizing centerpieces and choosing imported flowers to check my email to think about myself. I close the laptop, go back to bed, but now something is different. There's a small seed of resentment that wasn't there before. Or perhaps it was always there, but now it's growing, impossible to ignore. The last few days before the party are chaotic. I confirm with every vendor, the venue, the catering, the florist, the musician, the DJ, the decorator, the cake. Everything is confirmed, everything is paid for, everything is perfect. Laura checks every detail via video call, giving me instructions as if she were my supervisor. Remember, the flowers have to be there by 2 p.m., no later. And confirm that the DJ has the exact songs on the list I sent you. Not one more, not one less. Yes, Laura, I've confirmed everything 3 times. I'm exhausted, physically and emotionally exhausted. Perfect, Janet. I knew we could count on you. She pauses. Oh, and one more thing. Frank and I decided it would be nice if you could give a speech at the party. Something heartfelt about him. You know, as his mother. 3 or 4 minutes max, you can prepare something. A speech. They want me to organize, pay for, and coordinate everything, and then also stand in front of 50 people to praise my son who left me without savings. Sure, Laura, I'll prepare it. Great, see you Saturday. I can't wait. It's going to be epic. And she hangs up. Epic. It's going to be epic. On Thursday, 2 days before the party, I go to the venue for the final inspection. I check that everything is in order. I measure spaces for the centerpieces. I confirm where the photo booth will go, where the DJ will be, and where the food tables will be. Everything is perfect. Everything is ready. I leave the venue feeling a strange mix of satisfaction and emptiness. 4 months of labor, $11,200. All my effort materialized in this perfect room. At 6:30 p.m., the first guests start arriving. Frank's cousins I barely know, friends from work I've never seen, all elegant, smiling with gifts in hand. They greet me politely. Everything looks beautiful, they say. What incredible work, they say. No one asks who organized it. They assume it was a professional event planner. At 7 o'clock sharp, Frank and Laura make their triumphant entrance. He in a dark gray suit, she in a champagne-colored dress that probably cost more than 3 months of my rent. They look perfect, happy, and excited. Frank sees me and comes towards me. He hugs me. Mom, this is incredible. It exceeded all my expectations. You're the best. Frank hugs me quickly, already distracted, looking around, greeting the guests who continue to arrive. Laura approaches, gives me 2 air kisses near my cheeks, careful not to ruin her perfect makeup. Janet, it's beautiful, just like I imagined. As if she had imagined it. As if she had done anything more than send me impossible lists via WhatsApp. Emily arrives 15 minutes late with her children. She greets me in a rush. Mom, can you watch the kids during dinner? I want to sit quietly with the adults. It's not a question, it's an instruction. Before I can answer, she's already left the children with me and walked toward the main table where glasses of champagne are being served. The party goes exactly as I planned. The live music during dinner is perfect. The food is exquisite. Guests don't stop praising every detail. I overhear conversations. Who organized this? It must have been so expensive, like Frank always does things big. Frank, as if he had lifted a finger, as if he had spent a cent of his own money. At 9 p.m., Laura finds me. Janet, it's time for your speech. Do you have it ready? I don't have it ready. I completely forgot she had asked for a speech. I've been so busy coordinating that the waiters serve well, that the music isn't too loud, that the children don't break anything, that I simply forgot I also had to speak. Yes, of course, give me a moment. I improvise mentally while Laura takes the microphone and asks for silence before cutting the cake. We want Frank's mom, Mrs. Janet, to say a few words. She's the heart of this family, and we wanted to give her this special moment. Polite applause. Everyone looks at me expectantly. I take the microphone with trembling hands. I look at Frank, who smiles proudly at me. I look at Emily, who is checking her phone. I look at all these guests I don't know. And for a moment, just one moment, I consider telling the truth. I consider telling them that I spent my entire savings on this night, that my son promised to pay and gave me nothing, that I feel used, exhausted, and invisible. But I don't, because I'm Janet, because I always do the right thing, because I don't want to ruin my son's night. When Frank was little, I begin in a soft voice, he always said that when he grew up, he was going to do great things. And today, seeing him here, surrounded by people who love him at this beautiful celebration, I see that he kept his word. I'm proud of the man he became. Happy birthday, son. I wish you many more years of happiness. Short, simple, without real emotion. I hand back the microphone. More applause. Frank hugs me. Thanks, Mom. I love you. He says it automatically, without weight, without meaning. The party continues. They cut the cake. It's beautiful, just as I ordered. $650 of fondant and sugar. Everyone takes photos. The photo booth is a success. I watch Laura immediately upload photos to Instagram. Best party of the year hat, blessed, plaid family is everything. Family is everything. What irony. By 11 p.m., I'm exhausted. I sit at a table in the back, away from the noise. A second cousin of Frank's, whom I barely know, approaches. Excuse me, do you know where the restroom is? I point her way. She doesn't even know who I am. To her, I'm just another guest, maybe a distant aunt. No one knows I did all this. No one will know. Maria sends me a text. How's it going? Is it over yet? I reply, not yet. I think it goes until midnight. She replies, hang in there. Tomorrow you rest. Tomorrow your life starts again. I want to believe her. At midnight, the party officially ends, but guests take their time leaving. Finally, at 1 a.m., the venue is empty. The cleanup crew starts tidying up. Frank and Laura left half an hour ago, tired, happy, with bags full of gifts. Emily also left, taking the sleeping children. I stayed to make sure everything was in order, to return what needed to be returned. To close this chapter, I leave the venue at 1:30 a.m. The cool night air hits my face. I breathe deeply. It's over. 4 months are over, materialized in 6 hours of a party that is already the past. I get into a taxi because I'm too tired to drive. The driver asks me, coming from a party? You look elegant. I tell him, yes, I'm coming from a birthday. Did you have a good time, Dad? He asks kindly. I don't know what to answer. Did I have a good time? I don't know what I felt. I only know that I'm empty. I arrive at my apartment at 2 a.m. I take off the emerald green dress. I take off the shoes that tortured my feet all night. I remove my makeup, looking at myself in the mirror. I see an old, tired, sad woman. I see someone who lost herself trying to please others. I get into bed, but I can't sleep. I check my phone. 0 texts from Frank, 0 from Laura, 1 from Emily. Mom, I need you to watch the kids tomorrow. I have an important meeting. Can you be here at 9? As if nothing happened today, as if I didn't need to rest, as if I were always available. I don't reply. I turn off my phone, close my eyes, and in the darkness of my room, I make a decision. I don't know what it is yet. I just know that something has to change. I can't continue like this. I don't want to continue like this. On Sunday, I wake up late at 11 a.m. I have 17 missed calls. 12 from Emily, 5 from Frank. I check the messages. Emily is furious. Mom, where are you? We agreed you'd watch the kids. I had to cancel my meeting because of you. This is so irresponsible of you. Because of me? Irresponsible? I who spent 4 months being responsible for a party that wasn't even mine. Frank's messages are different. Mom, the party was incredible. Everyone is still talking about how great it was. 3 hours later, Mom, did you see the photos we uploaded? They look amazing. An hour later, Mom, are you okay? Emily says you're not answering her. None of them mention the money. None of them ask how I really am. They just want to know why I'm not available for Emily. I don't reply to any message. I make coffee. I sit on my small balcony overlooking the gray street. I drink my coffee in silence, feeling the warm sun on my face. And for the first time in months, I don't think about what I have to do for others. I think about myself. I check my email again. I look for Carol's message about the Barcelona program. I read it completely. At the end of the email, there's a postscript I hadn't seen. P.S. If for some reason you missed this call for applications, they open twice a year. The next one is in September. I can send you the information when they open. September. It's June, 3 months away. I search for the program online. I find the official page. I read every detail. 6 months in Barcelona, Spain, living in a shared apartment with other retired teachers, working 20 hours a week teaching Spanish, a monthly stipend of $900, medical insurance, the opportunity to travel through Europe on weekends, a life completely different from this one, a life that is mine. I take my notebook, the same notebook where I made the endless list for Frank's party. I tear out those pages, rip them up, and throw them away. I start a new page. I write, my life, my plans, my decisions. The words look strange on the paper, as if they were in another language. It's been so long since my life revolved around others that I don't even remember what it means to make decisions only for myself. But there they are, those words written in my own hand, a commitment to myself that I still don't know if I can keep. I spend the entire Sunday alone in silence. My phone doesn't stop ringing. Emily calls 6 more times, Frank 4, Laura 2, Shay. I don't answer any. I read a book I bought months ago and never opened. I prepare food just for myself, a simple salad that I eat slowly, savoring every bite. I go for a walk in my neighborhood, something I hadn't done in years. I notice details I never noticed before. A new bakery on the corner, a small park with wooden benches, a used bookstore, my neighborhood where I've lived for 10 years, and which I never stopped to truly get to know because I was always rushing to my children's homes. On Monday morning at 8 a.m., there's an insistent knock on my door. I know who it is before I open it. Emily is standing on the doorstep, arms crossed and a furious expression. Mom, can you tell me what's wrong with you? You haven't answered in 2 days. I thought something had happened to you. I'm fine. I just needed to rest. My voice sounds calm, almost indifferent. Rest? Do you know the trouble you caused me yesterday? I had to cancel a very important meeting because you didn't show up to watch the kids. She enters my apartment without being invited, as she always does. We didn't agree on anything, Emily. You sent me a text at 2 a.m. on Sunday asking me to watch your children at 9 a.m. I didn't confirm anything. But you always say yes. Why would this time be different? There is genuine confusion in her voice. She really doesn't understand why this time I wasn't automatically available. Because I was tired. I spent 4 months organizing your brother's party. I needed a day for myself. I pour myself coffee. I don't offer her any. Another small act of rebellion. Oh, Mom, but the party is over now. It's finished. I don't understand why you're still tired. Emily sits on my couch, grabs the remote control to my television, and distractedly checks it. Besides, it was just organizing a party. It's not like you built a house. Just organizing a party, reduced to just organizing a party. Emily, I spent all my savings on that party. Your brother promised to pay me back and hasn't given me anything. Emily looks up from the remote. $11,200. Mom, please. Are you exaggerating? You must be miscounting. I'm not exaggerating. I have all the receipts. I can show you if you want. I go to my room. I bring the folder where I kept every proof of payment, every invoice, every transfer. I put it in front of her. See for yourself, Emily. She opens the folder reluctantly, glances at some papers. Her expression gradually changes from skepticism to surprise. Mom, why did you spend so much? Imported flowers for $950, a cake for $650, invitations for $500. This is crazy. It was what Laura wanted, what your brother approved. I just followed their orders. My voice is cold now. A coldness I had never used with my children. Well, you should have said no. You should have set boundaries. No one forced you to spend all that. Emily closes the folder, hands it back to me, as if it burned her. As if the problem was mine for not knowing how to say no, not theirs for taking advantage. You're right. No one forced me. I decided to do it because I'm your mother, and I wanted your brother to have the party he wanted, but now I don't have any savings. I have nothing, and your brother doesn't mention when he's going to pay me. Well, but that's a problem between you and Frank. It has nothing to do with me. Emily gets up, smoothing her skirt. I came to talk about yesterday, not about your financial problems. The problem with yesterday is that I need you to respect my time. You can't take me for granted. You can't assume I'll always be available. The words come out firmer than I expected. Emily looks at me as if she doesn't recognize me. What's wrong with you, Mom? You're not yourself. You're acting really weird. I'm acting like someone who realized she's 66 years old and doesn't have any more time to waste. I stand firm, even though I'm trembling inside. Wow, okay. Message received. I see we're a burden to you now. We who have always been there for you. Emily walks toward the door. When this tantrum of yours passes, let me know. And she leaves, slamming the door harder than necessary. I sit on the couch in the same spot where Emily was sitting. My hands are shaking. I just had my first real confrontation with my daughter. I didn't yell, I didn't cry, I just spoke my truth, and it feels terrifying and liberating at the same time. An hour later, Frank calls me. I answer because I know if I don't, he'll show up at my door like Emily. Mom, Emily told me you're fighting. What happened? We're not fighting, Frank. I just told her that I can't be available all the time, that I need you to respect my space. But Mom, she's your granddaughter. How can you say no to watching your own grandchildren? His tone is genuinely perplexed. Frank, I need to talk to you about something important, the party money. I take a deep breath. I spent $11,200, all my savings. You promised me you'd pay, and 2 days have passed, and we haven't talked about it. There's a long silence on the other end. Then I hear Frank sigh, Mom, yeah, I know, and I'm going to pay you. But you have to understand that we're a little tight right now. Give me a few months, okay? Don't be impatient. I'm not being impatient. I'm being realistic. I don't have any savings, Frank. If I have an emergency, I have no way to cover it. Mom, nothing is going to happen. Stop being so negative. Besides, look on the bright side. The party was incredible. Everyone is still talking about it. That's priceless. He really believes it. He really thinks his friend's comments are worth more than my $11,200. It does have a price for me, Frank. $11,200, and I need you to give it back. My voice is firm. Oh, Mom, I get it. I'm going to pay you, but don't pressure me so much. It makes me feel like a bad son. And there it is, the classic manipulation, making me feel guilty for asking for what is rightfully mine. Frank, you are my son, and I love you, but this is non-negotiable. I need my money back. And I hang up. On September 15th, I wake up at 6 a.m., even though the notification won't arrive until 10 a.m., according to the email they sent me. I can't sleep. I can't eat breakfast. I can only pace back and forth in my apartment, checking my email every 5 minutes, as if that would make the answer arrive faster. Maria sends me a text. Breathe. Whatever the result, you'll be fine. But I know you'll be accepted. I feel it in my bones. At 9:17 a.m., the email arrives. Subject: Result of your Appalachian Barcelona program. My hands are shaking so much I can barely open the message. I read the first line. Dear Janet, we are pleased to inform you that you have been selected to participate in the Barcelona Cultural Exchange Program. I cover my mouth with my hands. Tears start falling uncontrollably. I was selected. Out of 120 applicants, they chose 30. And I'm one of them. The program starts on October 1st, exactly 16 days from now. 16 days to fix my life, pack, prepare everything, and face my children with the news. I call Maria immediately. She screams with excitement when I tell her, I knew it. I knew they'd accept you. Janet, this is incredible. This is what you needed. When are you going to tell Frank and Emily? I don't know. Soon. I have to tell them soon because I need to make arrangements. I need someone to look after my apartment while I'm gone. I think out loud. Maybe Paul can help me with that. Janet, and are you going to tell them in person or by letter? Maria goes straight to the point I've been avoiding. I don't know. I'm afraid to tell them in person. I'm afraid they'll convince me not to go, that they'll make me feel so guilty that I'll end up canceling everything. I admit my greatest fear. Then do it by letter or by text. The way that gives you peace. They didn't give you peace when they asked you to organize that party. You don't owe them consideration now. Maria is tough but fair. I spend the next 3 days organizing everything in silence. I call Paul and explain the situation. He immediately offers to supervise my apartment. Janet, I think it's perfect that you're doing this. You need this change, and don't worry about anything here. I'll take care of it. I ask him if he can also receive a transfer from Frank in case he finally decides to pay me. Paul laughs bitterly. Sure, though we both know that won't happen. I start packing. I take my old suitcase out of the closet, the same suitcase I used 20 years ago on my last trip, a family vacation to the beach where I spent the whole time watching kids and cooking for everyone. Now I fill it with clothes just for me. Books I want to read, blank notebooks to write a journal, a life contained in 50 pounds. On September 20th, 11 days before my departure, I finally make the decision I'm not going to tell them in person. I'm going to write a letter and leave it in my apartment. They'll find it when they come looking for me, as they always do when I don't answer the phone. It's cowardly, perhaps, but it's also survival. I sit in front of my computer and start writing. Dear Frank and Emily, when you read this letter, I will be on my way to Barcelona, Spain. I've been accepted into a cultural exchange program for retired teachers. I will be away for 6 months until the end of March. I know you're angry. I know you feel betrayed because I didn't tell you anything, but I need you to understand something. The last few years of my life have completely revolved around you, your needs, your children, your problems. I postponed everything of mine because there was always something more important, something more urgent that required my attention. Frank's party was the last straw. I spent $11,200 of my savings, everything I had, and when I asked you to pay me back, you treated me as if I were exaggerating, as if my financial security didn't matter, as if I didn't matter. I'm not mad at you. Well, yes, I am mad, but more than that, I'm tired. Tired of being invisible. Tired of being sought out only when you need something. Tired of living a life that isn't mine. These 6 months are for me. To remember who I am, beyond being your mother. To do something I want to do, not something I have to do. To finally live my own life. Paul has the keys to the apartment and will supervise everything while I'm away. If Frank finally decides to pay me what he owes me, he can make the transfers to the account Paul will give you. I love you. I will always love you. But I need to love myself too. And that's something I forgot how to do. See you in March. Love, Mom. I read the letter 5 times. I cry every time, but I don't change anything. It's honest. It's necessary. It's my truth. I print 2 copies, one for Frank, one for Emily. I leave them in envelopes on my living room table. Next to them, I leave the spare keys they have because I no longer want them entering my space whenever they feel like it. I give the only other set of keys to Paul. The last few days before leaving are surreal. Frank calls me twice, asking me to watch the children. I tell him I can't, that I'm busy. He doesn't suspect a thing. Emily sends me messages asking if my tantrum has passed and if we can talk. I don't reply. Maria helps me finish packing and accompanies me to do some last-minute shopping. Power adapters, a Barcelona guide, a new notebook for writing a journal. On the night of September 30th, the eve of my flight, Maria comes to my apartment. She brings a bottle of wine. To you, Janet, she says, raising her glass. To your courage, to your new life. We clink glasses, drink, cry, and laugh. Promise me you'll send me pictures of everything. Every museum, every street, every new food you try. I promise. And I promise that when I come back, I'll be different. I won't be the Janet who let herself be used again. I say it with conviction. Don't come back, Janet. Stay there if it makes you happy. Or come back and live by the beach or learn to paint and open a studio. Do whatever you want. Just don't go back to that cage you built yourself. Maria hugs me tightly. You're my hero. You know that, right? On October 1st at 5 a.m., the taxi I hired arrives at my door. I put my suitcase in. I look at my apartment one last time. The letters are still on the table. My children will probably find them this afternoon when they realize I'm not answering my phone. By then, I'll be flying over the Atlantic, and the flight is long, but I don't mind. I read, I sleep. I look out the window at the endless clouds. I think about what I left behind and what awaits me ahead. For the first time in years, the future doesn't scare me, it gives me hope. I land in Barcelona, Spain at 9 a.m. local time. The sun is shining, the air smells different, everything is new, unknown, and exciting. A program coordinator greets me at the airport with a sign that says my name. She takes me to the apartment I'll be sharing with two other retired teachers, one from Argentina and one from Chile. The apartment is small but bright, with balconies overlooking a lively street. I unpack slowly, savoring every moment. I put my clothes in the closet, my books on the shelf, and my photo of Maria on the nightstand. This room is mine. This time is mine. This life is mine. At 2 p.m. Barcelona time, my phone explodes. 47 missed calls. 32 from Frank. From Emily, dozens of messages. Mom, where are you, Mom? Answer. Mom, this doesn't make sense. How could you do this to us? You're so selfish. The kids are crying. Come back immediately. I can't believe you abandoned us. I read every message with a calm that surprises me. I don't feel guilt. I only feel a deep peace. I send one single text to both of them. I'm very busy right now. See you in March. Take care. And I turn off the notifications. That afternoon, I go for a walk in the Gothic Quarter. The bustle of the city envelops me. Tourists, street artists, the smell of food, laughter in different languages. I sit down at a cafe, order a cortado, and watch the people go by. No one knows me here. No one knows I'm a mother, a grandmother, the free party organizer. I'm just Janet, a 66-year-old woman drinking coffee in Barcelona on a Tuesday afternoon. I take out my new notebook and write, Day 1 of my new life. Today I start living for me, and I smile, and I genuinely smile for the first time in years, and I am free. 6 months later, in March, I will return to the States, but I won't go back to that cage. I'll sell my old apartment, which is too big and full of sad memories. I'll buy a smaller, modern condo near Maria. I'll set up a small painting studio. I'll teach classes to other retirees twice a week. I'll see my grandchildren when I want, on my terms. I won't accept any more last-minute requests. I won't lend any more money that I know I won't get back. I won't organize any more parties that aren't mine. Frank will try to get closer now that Laura is demanding he watch his own children. Emily will want to reconcile now that she had to pay for expensive babysitters. I will love them. I will always love them. But I will no longer sacrifice myself for them. Because I learned something fundamental in Barcelona. Choosing myself is not selfishness. It is survival. Sometimes the family you build, the one that chooses to respect you, is stronger than the one you inherited. And if they ever take me for granted again, if they ever assume I'll be available no matter what, I'll just tell them I'm very busy right now. Because finally, after 66 years, my life belongs to me.